RDR versus Whittaker. What a great fight. I was so confident for Whittaker. You know, I'm a big Whittaker fan. I trained with him back in the day. He's a great guy. He's a great champion, great fighter. And he lost. I can't believe that he lost. I was shocked. I was quite surprised. Now, don't get me wrong. RDR is a great fighter. You know, we saw him beat Bo Nickel. You know, he's on a tear. But Whittaker's too fast, too slick, too precise, too hard to take down. Yet he did it. After round one, while I was watching round one, I gave it clear. Round one was a clear win for Whittaker. He won round one, no doubt about it. But RDR kept trucking forward, kept trying to close the distance. He tried some takedowns. They were looking miserable looking takedowns. He missed takedown after takedown. He didn't have the striking. He kept trucking forward. Whittaker was tagging him. Whittaker was circling. He was looking really good. And then Whittaker started to slow down. Whittaker even drops him. RDR tries his famous knee, throws a knee, gets cracked, gets countered hard by Whittaker, gets dropped. Yet he gets back up like a zombie. He keeps trucking forward. He keeps trying to shoot. He keeps trying to clinch. He keeps trying to tie up Whittaker. Whittaker, in my opinion, looked a little smaller. Okay, physically smaller. Now, Whittaker is a big, strong guy. But in middleweight, he's not the biggest. He's strong. He's very strong. Okay, we saw him fight Yoel Romero. Even Yoel Romero couldn't hold him down. RDR kept going forward. And then he started landing that knee. Goodness gracious, that knee. The same knee he hurt Bo Nickel badly with. He seems to have a very powerful, strong knee. All his punches look... None of them look dangerous. RDR's punches didn't look dangerous, except in the clinch. Maybe he's busy in the clinch. I'll give him that. But that knee to the gut, which allowed him, facilitated him to keep trucking forward and wear down Whittaker. And I think at the end of the day, Whittaker got tired. Let's look at his. He has 14 submissions wins. RDR has 14 submission wins. He's 7-2 in ONE FC. He lost to that big guy with a double belt, the double champion. He beat Whittaker by split decision. It was very close, but guys, I gave it to RDR. And I hate saying that because I love Robert Whittaker. I love him. I think he's a great human being. I love the guy. He's a great champion. He's a great fighter. He's a legend in the sport. I was for sure certain he was going to beat RDR, especially after round one. But for some reason, I think he got a little bit tired. In a rematch, I'll pick Whittaker again. I just felt he got tired. Why did he get tired? That's the question. And RDR, his striking, guys, I got to tell you, I was not impressed with his striking. It's his ability, his heart to move forward. An exception. He has one good strike, that knee. And now everybody knows about that knee. He hit Whittaker to the gut, and he hurt Whittaker to the gut. I'm looking here at his wins. Okay, he beat Mir Chart. Okay, that was an arm triangle. Kevin Holland, rear naked choke. Bo Nickel, we all saw that fight. Knee to the body. He just kind of like, he just put the pressure on Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel seemed to be fading even after round one. Bo Nickel tried to pull Bo Nickel pulled a guillotine, if I remember correctly, or something like that. He tried to choke out RDR. I thought that was a huge mistake. He went in his wheelhouse. Big mistake. And then guess what? He starts to slow down. Round two was just RDR, his knees, his clinching. And then he was able to TKO Bo Nickel. And Bo Nickel was one of the biggest prospects. Everybody keeps talking to me about Bo Nickel. And guys, don't get me wrong. I still think Bo Nickel is a really dangerous prospect. He's a really, really good fighter. But at one point, Bo Nickel was like, "Oh, I'll beat Khamzat really easy. I'll beat them all easy." He was on his high horse. And RDR was like a formality. Oh, RDR was supposed to get crushed. I wonder what the odds were. Let's see. I'm really interested, actually, because I rarely look at the odds. Okay, but Bo Nickel versus RDR odds. I'm just curious. What did people think? Because, I mean, everybody was just telling me, oh, Bo Nickel's going to crush him. Let's see here. It was just a minus 200. Oh, no, here we go. Look at this. On November 17th, he was at minus 910. That's huge. That's colossal. That's massive. But he opened at a minus 200. And from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't say closed, but it says open minus 200, which is not that big of a deal. He was the favorite. Bo Nickel was the favorite. But if he closed at minus minus 910. That means everybody was betting on Bo Nickel. Everybody's betting on Bo Nickel. Like, you have to put a lot. If people are putting money on Bo Nickel, and they're like, hey, man, you got to put $910 now if you want to win $100, because we're so worried that this is going to go down this way. You're going to have to risk $900 to win 100. It was a bad. The odd makers got it wrong that time. Why is Bo Nickel so favored? What makes Bo Nickel so popular? Bo Nickel is one of the most hyped prospects of the decade because of his impressive accolades during his college wrestling career at Penn State. For those of you who don't know, Penn State is like the best wrestling university, the best. Okay, they got Cael Sanderson, they got wins after win. They're arguably one of the best dynasties wrestling clubs ever in America. Okay. He's also a brash and very confident personality. Now, Bo Nickel. What happened? RDR goes in there. He wins dominantly. Okay, round 1 was close, but round 2 was just dominance from RDR. Guys, I'm looking at the poll. 54% of you think he can be champion. Could he beat a DDP? Could he beat a Chimaev? Khamzat? Could he beat a Khamzat? I don't think he beats DDP. Honestly. I think DDP's too smart. He's not going to get worn out. He's not going to get run over. He's not going to get beat up like that. Khamzat, I think Khamzat destroys him. Again, that's just my opinion. I thought Whittaker was going to crush him. But I'll tell you guys something. Why would I pick Whittaker again? Because I think Whittaker got tired. I don't know what it was, man. They were in Arabia. Sometimes you go there, it's a different time zone. You didn't do it right. You didn't go 2 weeks ahead. Could be. I don't know when he arrived. He traveled from Australia. Maybe it's just such a different part of the world. You know, I've seen guys, believe me, for those of you who don't believe in jet lag, it's a real thing. I've traveled to Arabia, and then we trained the next day, and it's like everybody's tired. Everybody's gassed out. When I went, last time I was in Saudi, I trained for 10 days straight. And I trained for more than 10 days. I trained for like 2 weeks, okay? But on the 10th day, I started feeling better. The first 6 days, I was feeling good. You know, I'm not a trained fighter, but I was training with the guys who were, doing drills. Man, I was so jet lagged. I was not myself. You know, I was like moving around. I just felt weird. And I was like, how do guys fight like that? You know, some guys I have guys who fight in the Middle East and they just go like 5 days before. And I always try to beg them. I was like, go out there 10 days before, go out there 2 weeks before, go out there earlier, go out there, acclimate, get into the rhythm of sleeping and waking up at their time. I just traveled from Africa. I just got back. I'm falling asleep earlier and waking up earlier. I'm not on my regular time. But I like when I get back home from a trip, I go straight to the gym. I get right back to my schedule, but it takes time. It takes me time. Now, I just traveled from Morocco. It's a 6-hour flight. Traveling to the Middle East from Australia. That's a far trip. Now, look, Whittaker's done it before. He knows better. He knows. Maybe this time he's like, I don't need to acclimate. I'll just skip it this time. I'm used to it. Maybe that was the reason, because definitely, I would tell you he's much better than RDR, generally speaking. We all know Shavkat is a real king of middleweight. That's from Coach. Coach, I will tell you something. I guarantee you Shavkat beats RDR. I guarantee it. He's a welterweight, but from welterweight, if you put Shavkat against RDR, I would pick Shavkat. Look, I think RDR he surprised me. Okay, he really surprised me. I was really impressed with his fight against Bo Nickel. I thought he would do better against Bo Nickel than a Whittaker, because Bo Nickel, he's not been tested. He hasn't been in the deep waters where a guy's not going down after you hit him once or twice. He's in your face. Whittaker has been tested time and time again, and he's passed with flying colors. He lost twice to Adesanya, but he's been there with the top guys. Like, he could take shots from the top guys, including one of the best pound-for-pound middleweights ever. I think Adesanya would have annihilated RDR, annihilated him. Whittaker has proven himself time and time again. He fought Romero twice, man. Twice. The hardest, probably the most impressive athlete in the history of martial arts, Romero. He fought him twice. The fights were controversial. They were close, but still, he fought him twice. He did 10 rounds with the man. He lived to tell about it. He's made of metal. How did RDR break him? I'm quite surprised. It's that knee, the clinching, the non-stop blood and guts pressure. I'll tell you something. RDR's got guts, man, because he got floored by Whittaker. He got floored. He didn't even think twice. He got up like a zombie and started pressuring forward. Never beats Khamzat. That's from Q. Quarty, I would tell you, I don't think he beats Khamzat either. I don't think he beats Khamzat. No, I much agree with you. Coach, can you watch my fight and give me my brief dialogue of what you think about it? That's from Devin. Devin, post it. Put my name in it. Coach reviews fight. YouTube, post it on YouTube. And I'll do it later in the show. So keep asking me about later in the show. Right now, we're talking about RDR. He is big, Coach. Yes, I did notice he's big. That's from AI. AI, you are correct. RDR look much bigger. Now, I don't think Whittaker is the biggest middleweight. He used to fight at welterweight. I trained him when he fought at welterweight. He had one of the, I'll be honest with you guys, he was stuck between middleweight and middleweight and welterweight. I did a weight cuts with Whittaker. I'll tell you something, he's one of the hardest weight cuts I've ever seen. He's a big welterweight, but a smaller middleweight. And then when he made the jump to middleweight, I think it really was a very good decision because he was killing himself to make welterweight. It was a very difficult thing. And he's a naturally powerful guy, but he was young. So he was making middleweight, then he was kind of filling out. He was getting thicker. You know, he was very young when he started fighting in welterweight. I think he was 21 or something. He was still filling out. You know, as you get older, you mature, you're training, you put on a little muscle. You could tell he was a great talent. He was going to go far, but he was killing himself with those weight cuts. RDR was even bigger than, I would say, Adesanya. Maybe he looks thicker. Maybe not as tall, but thicker. I think it was the body shots. That's from Tom Black. Yes, the knee especially. I think the knee really hurt Whittaker. Sometimes you fight a guy, he's not a great puncher, he's not a great kicker, but he's got like a really good elbow. Like that one elbow by pop could put anybody out. Well, you got to be careful. You got to kind of figure that out before the fight if you can. And now I think we all know, because, you know, when he hit Bo Nickel with the knee, you saw the impact. You saw Bo Nickel react. But it's like Bo Nickel, we don't know how much shots he can take. We don't know much about Bo Nickel. Whittaker's been hit by the who's who. And he, for the most part, was able to survive it. If the Ritter hits a guy like Whittaker with a knee and Whittaker reacts, we know, look, Bo Nickel is a tough guy, but we didn't see him take big shots from guys we know hit hard and survive it. We've seen that with Whittaker. Now that we know that knee can even hurt a Whittaker, a Robert Whittaker. Well, now we understand why it hurt Bo Nickel so badly. He has a good knee. Now, I think everybody's going to know it. But he doesn't have any boxing. He doesn't seem to have dangerous boxing outside of the clinch. And in the clinch, I wouldn't say it's devastating. I would just say it's busy. He's just very busy. They look like they were in two different weight classes. That's from Coach Prejam. Coach Prejam, I would tell you, I agree. They did look very different in size. Have you ever done a seminar in Morocco? That's from Al Ghali. Al Ghali, I would love to, but I was very busy in Morocco because I'm training pros when I'm there at that time because I'm working with professionals. So it pretty much takes up my day. I had my family with me, so I was kind of like training professionals, then going to hang out with my family. One day I will definitely do a seminar in Morocco if I have an extended stay and have I know that I'm going to be there and I don't have so many fighters to train, I would do it. But for the foreseeable future, I think I'm just going to be working with the pros. And if I do have some time off, I will definitely love to do a seminar with the people of Morocco. Is RDR showing clinch work is the new meta in MMA? That's from the Moshas. Well, I think the king of clinch was Reinier Couture. I think he's the one who was the best at it. And he showed us how important it is and how effective it can be. But RDR is just reviving it. He's just reviving it. And, man, he's making it work. Now, can he clinch Khamzat Chimaev and DDP and get them to wilt and all that? That would blow my mind. That would blow my mind if he can do that. I don't think he can. But he did it to Whittaker, and that still surprised me. But Khamzat has more wrestling pedigree. DDP is too big, too strong. He's a gorilla. You're not going to bully him in the clinch. Don't be insane. Remains to be seen. That will shock me, guys. And believe me, if he can do it, I will come out here and praise him. Because that would shock me. Because DDP is massive. You saw how he threw Whittaker. He headlocked Whittaker, brought him to the ground and subbed him. Like, he's a strong man. He jumped on Adesanya's back and wrapped up a choke. He subbed almost every guy he's ever fought. Outside of what's his name? He fought. Forgetting his name. Everybody knows him. He just got suspended recently. Okay, let's see here. Who else we got here? Coach, I think the RDR can defend the submission of Khamzat, then out-cardio him with the later rounds. That's from AI. Look, AI, that's possible. Okay, we're going to talk about Khamzat versus, I wanted to do a pre-fight analysis. I'm probably going to do it next week, but we all know DDP versus Khamzat. It's all like Khamzat's the best in round one. The best. Like, you don't want to mess with him in round one. But then we've all noticed that, hey, he seems to wilter, he seems to slow down, he seems to get sloppy. All that talent, all that explosiveness, all that power, all that precision he has in round one quickly dips. And we all know, we're all thinking it. If he doesn't finish DDP in the first two, it's probably going to be DDP turning things around. We all know it. We don't need a super special analysis, but I'm still going to do it, and we're going to have fun with it. And I'm not going to get all technical about it. We're going to talk about other things too, but we all know that part. I think we all know he's a front runner. He's super dangerous in round 1 and 2. And if the fight was only 5 minutes, if MMA fights were only 5 minutes, imagine the state was like, hey guys, okay, this is a dangerous sport. We're only allowing you 5 minutes. Khamzat would beat everybody. He would probably have 3 world titles. Three different weight divisions, because he would cut hard, and even though he killed himself in the weight cut, he only has 5 minutes. Nobody beats this man in the first 5 minutes. But we'll talk about that another day. Right now, I want to focus on RDR for a little bit. RDR versus GSP, just joking. Guys, I'll tell you something. Prime GSP versus prime RDR, even a middleweight, GSP beats him. Even a middleweight. Okay, GSP was a welterweight, and he also won the middleweight championship. He beat Bisping. But even giving RDR the weight advantage, I'm telling you guys, GSP would never slow down. He wouldn't even let RDR clinch him. RDR would have almost zero chance of taking GSP down. Almost zero. And even if he got GSP down, it wouldn't be a big deal. GSP has great jiu-jitsu. Get back up to his feet. He would sweep him. He would choke him. He would razzle-dazzle him on the ground and get back up to his feet. Okay, now I'm telling you, it wouldn't be long before GSP takes RDR down and puts the pain on him, puts the pressure on him, the top game. I would be very confident for GSP in a middleweight fight versus RDR. I'd be very confident. Whittaker seemed to gas out against RDR. I think the clinch work and the size tired him out a lot. That's from the Mohas. The Mohas, I agree with you. And I also think maybe it was traveling from Australia to Arabia. Maybe he didn't go out 2 weeks before. He didn't acclimate. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him about it. But when the next time I do bump into him, I'm going to ask him that. I'm asking, hey, did you go out 2 weeks before? Because I'm telling you, Whittaker is in good shape. He's a hard hitter. He's hard to take down. He's very seasoned on the ground. He knows how to get back up. He's very well schooled. And obviously, he's world champion. He was world champion. He didn't seem like himself. But not to make any excuses, guys. RDR, I'm here praising RDR. I'm telling you guys, he blew my mind. I didn't think he could win this fight. He won it. I want to congratulate him. I want to tell him, look, you impressed me, man. He really impressed me. He found a way to win.